Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Legendary Wings for the NES. We completed the first level in the first video, and now we are in this watery-looking ruins area for the second level. And I start out by shooting down a whole bunch of enemies, just as many as I can, hopefully without any of these things hitting me. Thankfully they're pretty slow, and I can hit them all, or as many as I can. Now we have these flying eyes, and the turrets return. I make it a priority to bomb as many of the turrets as I can, because, well, it'll make these flying things a little easier to deal with in comparison. And two, I want to see if I can get all the bonus levels in the game. Took 2 hits through this area, but thankfully I managed to collect 2 power-ups for my weapon. Whenever I collect a weapons power-up while in maximum weapons level, I refill all of my hit points that I have when I'm in my Phoenix form. So if I took 1 or 2 hits and I'm 1 hit away from going back down to non-Phoenix form, I can just grab a power-up and get all my hit points back. Also, that weapon makes those things look dreadfully easy. And now we got these things flying around in a back and forth pattern that are a lot more numerous, but they still stop close to the center of the screen. And then these things again. Thankfully, I'm a little used to shooting those things down by now. Also, I forgot to mention, hey, I made it past the face again. That should be celebrated, right? Anyway, shooting down that turret to the left in that pair right there. That unleashes a whirlwind that takes you to yet another bonus area. I should mention that when you're in these side-scrolling areas like this one, you can only shoot and move. You cannot press A to drop bombs on anything like you can in the usual top-down gameplay segments. But hey, at least in these segments I can find some hidden continues and hidden weapon power-ups, which is always good. And of course, I can always pick up the golden statues to get as many coins as I can and get a lot closer to an extra life. Seriously, you want to pick up everything that you can in these bonus areas because they're going to help you out big time. So here, I take the top route, slide my way over there, get these things, make my way back up there somehow, and somehow get everything that is here. And I stick to the top route because I find a continue within the wall that I'm shooting down. You don't have to get everything in these bonus areas, just make sure you get everything that you can. And now we are back on the top-down part of this level. And once we come back, we gotta shoot these things down. These things are a little faster. I try to give myself as much room as I can to maneuver, because you're not going to be able to shoot them all. They are a little bit faster than some of the similar enemies of that type that we've seen through the stage. And at least these things fly straight downwards. Now we're on dry land. We're seeing the statues that we need to bomb the feds of 3 times to get to the temple safely. You can tell that we're getting pretty close to the end of this part of the second level. The statues may change color, but they still shoot at you exactly the same way. And just like at the entrance to the first temple, it's the dragon again. Same strategies apply. The devil is waiting for us in the palace. Rush courageously. And we're also going to have to rush carefully, too, because this one's going to be a little bit tougher. For the beginning, you're going to have to shoot these columns down. You're going to have to shoot your way through the columns by putting a hole in them, just so you don't get smashed at the very left side of the screen. Thankfully, once you know where to shoot, getting through here is a little faster. Watch out for these green things. Stay low, but not low enough to touch the quicksand, which will damage you, by the way. So that way you can destroy all these green things before they can even shoot at you. Once you go through these narrow corridors, you're going to start seeing the little pink background tile cannons. You want to shoot them down as soon as they flip. Now these things, just shoot as many as you can. Don't let them run into you, or don't let yourself run into them in any way. Thankfully, there is a weapons power-up in case you took any hits before or in this section. Once again, the quicksand can damage you. Don't touch that either. And for this last part of the second palace, I stick to the top. That way I don't have to deal with any enemies that I don't need to deal with. Try as it might, that ceiling turret will not come after me. As for the boss of the palace, second verse, same as first. There are a few changes though, and you will see what they are. Besides the color palette for the boss, you now have 4 eyes. And more eyes mean more eye projectiles being fired at you. I try to take out as many of these as I can, because doing that does me a lot of good. Especially when I'm trying to keep my weapon power exactly as it is. I want to make sure I'm always in Phoenix form, ready to take hits when necessary, ready to deal the maximum amount of damage to virtually anything that gets in my path. And yes, while I'm getting shots at the little part in the center that's shooting out stuff, I still focus on the eyes first and foremost, so that way I don't have as many things to worry about when I'm finally shooting the boss where I need to shoot it. And thankfully I didn't have to destroy that last eye, because I got so many shots on the boss's actual weak point that I was able to take it out before I could take out the eye. We have cleared this area. 3 areas are still to be cleared. Hold out for final victory. And once again, we get to see our high score and our current score before we go to level 3. Level 3 is going to get a little more interesting, but that will have to wait until the next video. So join me next time for level 3 of Legendary Wings for the NES. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!